Okay, looks like we're recording. I hope we're recording. If we are recording, hello everybody, and welcome back to Robert's Reviews. Today, obviously, as you can see, we have a very special guest. We have Julian Gotiangco. Welcome to Robert's Reviews again. Appreciate having you. Um, it's always a pleasure. We're filming this right before we go live for our event talking about Marvel Theory that should be available as a video on demand. So if you're interested in watching that, definitely go check out the VOD. It's gonna be really fun. I'm really excited about it. So definitely check that out. But we're gonna be talking about Loki season 1 today, and it's been a week since it ended. We both watched the Marvel Assembled episode, I presume. I think it's probably my favorite Marvel Assembled episode so far. Mainly with Tom Hiddleston, kind of narrating it. I thought that was really good. But I want to kind of ask you first. Well, first, no spoilers, of course. We don't talk about spoilers here. I want to ask Julian, what is your overall thought with Loki? Do you think it's what you thought it was going to be? How did it stand up to what your expectations here?
So this was when they announced this at Comic-Con. This was actually one of the shows I was really excited about, and like I was surprised like when they announced Phase 4, like, oh, I just wanted more movie news. Like I was kind of excited for the shows, but not as excited. But I was surprised how much I loved WandaVision, and uh, Falcon and the Winter Soldier was good, but not as good as WandaVision. And but then I was like the first few episodes of Loki, I'm really like what they're doing so far, but like let's see how I feel with more episodes. And then I think by like the fourth episode and like fourth through six, like I was like this might be my favorite of the Marvel MCU shows on Disney Plus so far, at least for me.
That's fair. Absolutely. I agree that like the Disney Plus shows didn't appeal as much to me as the movies did at first. I was like, oh, they're doing shows. That's not going to work very well. I did not anticipate it working very well, and to some small extent, I'm still not expecting it to work as well as I think it's going to. Mainly simply due to the fact that like not everyone's going to watch the shows. Not everyone has the time. Not everyone has Disney Plus. Although I assume most people do. Um, I'm interested to see how they have to recap each movie now. Like, I'm not looking forward to seeing like Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness and sitting there and them kind of like, oh, this happened, and if you didn't watch the Disney Plus, I'm not looking forward to that part. But I think that as a self-contained story, they are working. I think the format of the shows is working, and with Loki in particular, I think that it needed to be a show. I don't think that this
Yeah.
would have worked very well as a movie. Mainly because the implied time works very well. And what I mean by implied time is the time in between episodes where characters grow. We see this particularly between Loki and Mobius here, where we have kind of this relationship that starts off kind of slow and then picks up as they go, and then in between episodes you realize they're becoming closer and closer as they work on the same projects and stuff. And I appreciate that they did work on the implied time because a lot of shows don't. A lot of shows kind of just give you what you're given, but then they keep progressing the characters anyway. So I appreciated that, and I think it worked very, very well. Let's talk about a couple of the actors first, starting with Tom Hiddleston, who played Loki. What are your thoughts on Tom Hiddleston going back to, what was it, 2011? No, 2010 would be
Yeah,
for
2011.
11. Okay.
I've been a fan of Tom Hiddleston as Loki since the first Thor movie. And he's been consistently good at everything. Even a movie I don't like, Thor the Dark World, he's the saving grace of that movie. And I know like in Endgame, like he kind of like goes backward. Like but like I think he actually gets more character development in this one than in any of the anything we've seen from him so far, and I think this is the best he's been as Loki.
Yeah, I agree. I never really was a huge Loki fan, but that's mainly just because I don't really care for Thor in general. I don't really care about
Okay,
that kind
yeah,
of mythological kind of thing. I think it works, and I do like it, and I
yeah,
appreciate the character, and I get why he's a fan favorite. He's just never been my personal favorite. But that's no abash against Tom Hiddleston, of course. He's fantastic. In terms of character development, I was very nervous. I don't know if you remember watching my first video for the first
yeah.
episode of
Mhm.
Loki. I mentioned that I was really nervous that we're going to kind of erase everything that he's done, or at worst, even just pretend like he has had that character development. And they kind of fixed that by that one scene where he kind of sees his life. That was able to fix it, I think, a little bit for me. And I do think that in terms of the character development, while is great, the character development that we get from Loki himself in this show does work very well. And we do progress quite far into his new future, which is really, really cool. And I'm really excited to see more and where they go with the character, because they could do a lot of things. And there's a lot of things I'm sure we'll talk about in our live stream about what might be the potential future for Loki, the character. So I'm really excited to check that out. Let's talk about one other actor. I can't talk about too many more because of spoilers, of course, but we can talk about Owen Wilson, who plays Mobius. What are your thoughts on Owen Wilson?
So I've only seen a few movies with Owen Wilson. Like I've seen like the Night at the Museum movies, of course, and Cars. And there was one scene it was just a short scene they had together in the movie Midnight in Paris. So this is not the first time they've been working together. And so I didn't know what to expect. And he was in Wedding Crashers too. So I didn't know what to expect from Owen Wilson. But as Owen Wilson likes to say, wow, he's so great in this. He's so great in this show. And the just like the chemistry he has with Tom Hiddleston, like just like I like you can easily. I know people might find it like boring that they're just like talking to each other, but like when they're acting like this is so strong, like you don't really care that it's just like they're just sitting on a chair and like at a desk and they're just talking.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I mean, I love Owen Wilson. I think he's great. He's hilarious. He's never been like top A-list for me in terms of actors. But you know, he's always fun. And when he pops in a movie, you're like, oh wow, that's Owen Wilson. Wow. And I appreciate what he's able to do. I love Cars, of course. I'm a huge Cars fan. And I was excited and also like cautiously nervous when I heard the announcement that he would be in the show, because now they're trying to find new A-listers to kind of show up. We've got him. We've got Christian Bale showing up soon. We've got Kit Harington, Angelina Jolie, all these big names showing up in the future. And I was a little nervous that Owen Wilson would be the first one to separated from his character, and I was wrong. I mean, it really he's very good, very, very good. Honestly, I think he's probably my favorite character in the show. I really like him a lot, and I appreciate what his character was, which is just kind of a buddy. And I appreciate that they had one for Loki, because they haven't really had one before, because you know Thor's his brother, but they don't get along, and of course they're fighting. And I like that at least Mobius was trying to understand Loki, which is something that no one's ever really tried to do before in the movies, is like just kind of understand who he is, where he comes from, what makes him tick. And I really appreciate the work from Owen Wilson here. And it does make me a little excited to see these other A-listers like Kit Harington, Angelina Jolie. I mean, I love Christian Bale. I'm a huge Christian Bale fan. He's a freaking chameleon. And I'm excited to see where we go from here. Oh, and then there's Russell Crowe. He'll be in Thor: Love and Thunder. Like, what? That's crazy. I'm a little nervous about all of them, but we'll see how it goes. But I think it worked well with Owen Wilson here. Overall, I think it's a really, really good show. I think it's definitely fun. It does have its minor points, though. I want to talk about that for like just real quick. The show definitely lulls. There are not good episodes of Loki, which is kind of annoying for me, because like the first episode was like really intriguing, really interesting. The second episode was like the second episode was really, really good. Loved that episode. Third one was like just kind of okay until the end. Crazy dumb like cliffhanger at the end of that one. 4 was like pretty good. 5 was really good, and I think 6 was interesting because it kind of went counter MCU, and I can't talk about it a whole lot because of spoilers, but I liked that they decided to go with a softer ending than most other MCU projects would. So I appreciated that, but I didn't like how they were an hour long, which is weird for me because normally I'm craving for more. I think these could have been a little bit shorter and a little tighter. And I'm not sure if it's necessarily a huge negative, but I feel like it could have been tighter and it might have made the overall satisfaction of the show better. What were your overall thoughts? And then you can go ahead and give me your rating at the end of that.
I think episode 3 was the shortest one. Like it was, I think it was too short. But I think it
Yeah.
could, yeah, I get that it could have been a little tighter. I agree with that. So, like I said earlier, this is probably my favorite of the 3 MCU shows that we've gotten so far. So I'm gonna give my rating for Loki season 1 an A minus.
Wow, an A minus. Okay. Well, fun fact. I will also give Loki season one an A minus. I don't know if you can see it. There it is.
Yeah,
So yeah, I
yeah.
agree. I don't think it's my favorite. I actually think I prefer WandaVision just a little bit. Um, I don't know. I just something about that show really excited me. And Loki,
Oh
I
yeah.
think that WandaVision, while it wasn't maybe as good, it was tighter and it had more of a linear arc than Loki did, and it was easier to follow. Not that I don't think we should challenge viewers. I think we should, but it definitely made for a
Right.
more tighter show. And it had not a very good ending, whereas Loki was a little bit more loose, but had a really really great ending. But Julian, I want to thank you for coming out for the video. I really appreciate it.
Of
Thank you to the
course.
viewers. If you're watching, make sure you're subscribing. Once we hit 150 subscribers, I'm going to be dressing up like Spider-Man and going to Walmart and buying something. So if you want to see that, smash that subscribe button. I know you want to see it. Who doesn't want to see that? And there's a special thing I'm going to announce. I'm not going to announce it in this video, but I will announce it in the VOD if you want to watch that for the live stream. For when I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm a little excited about it, a little nervous about it, to be honest with you, but I'm excited about it. So I'm not going to mention it here because Julian doesn't know about it yet. I want his surprise when we want to talk about it. But definitely check out the VOD for the live stream if you're interested in Marvel and all things theory. We're talking about a lot of it. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. And as always, keep watching movies and television. Stay educated, and I'll see you guys in the next video.